episode 7 of Weekly Wisdom with me, Sam, the Stoic teacher. If it's your first time here, I'm a philosophy and theology graduate from the University of Cambridge, and I now have the pleasure of teaching philosophy and religious studies in South London. In Weekly Wisdom, we look at the 3 Stoic quotes that I've posted on my Instagram in the last week, at the Stoic teacher. The quotes can be found there, and we discuss ancient wisdom for modern times. Thank you for joining me. The first quote for this week comes from a poem called the Golden Verses of Pythagoras. This is recommended by both Seneca and Epictetus as morning reading. Line 16 stuck out for me when I was thinking about the global COVID-19 pandemic and the situation that we find ourselves in. The quote is the following: "The goods of fortune are uncertain. Just as they may be acquired, they may likewise be lost." This can be found in line 16 of the Golden Verses of Pythagoras. Reading through this quote, I was struck by the way in which this current pandemic has given us all a chance for gratitude, to reflect on those things that we took for granted. Small things, like the ability to have physical closeness with another person who lives outside our house. And it made me reflect that we would do well to remember the lessons when life does return to normal. The second quote for this week comes from Musonius Rufus, and again came to me when thinking about difficulties and the value of resilience. Musonius Rufus says, "Do not be upset by roadblocks. Think about how many of the things in your life haven't turned out as you wanted them to, but as they should have." It's interesting because when I reflect, I realise that some of the things that I really wanted were not things that would have benefited me. And I think the value of hindsight here teaches us a lesson for moving forward, which is that sometimes when something doesn't go our way, there may well be positive aspects to that. We simply can't see that yet. And also this serves as a reminder for us to view the obstacle as the way, and to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than viewing them as something negative. You know, there are statistics that have shown that air pollution has drastically decreased since the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis. And of course, no one's saying that the crisis in itself is a good thing, but it is worthwhile reflecting on some of the positive things that are happening, including the sense of community that we have here in the UK, clapping for our NHS workers on Thursday evenings. I'm confused. There's a lot of random people beeping, and now there's fireworks. Is it the round of applause again? Oh, okay, I didn't know about the round of applause, but I'm going to join in. That's very nice. I was just walking, I'd forgotten that it was the clapping for the NHS at 8 PM, but we've joined in and seen some really nice shows, including cars beeping, which was a bit alarming initially, but that's very nice. It was a really lovely show of gratitude, and what would be good is if we follow that up with genuine support for our NHS workers. For example, thinking about, you know, who is the party that will support them and give them the wages they deserve. The third quote for this week came to mind actually when I was working out in the car park of my building. The quote is from Seneca. This is him quoting Virgil in letter 78. He says, "When a man is in the grip of difficulty, he should say, 'There may be pleasure in the memory of even these events one day.'" This really struck me as powerful in the current situation that we're in, suggesting that later on we might be able to reflect and look back positively upon certain aspects of the scenario. Personally, I've got 12 things on a list, on Wonderlist, that I try and tick off every single day. And because we've got so much spare time in this lockdown, not being able to actually go anywhere and make social plans in the same way that we used to, I've been ticking off those 12 things every single day. And so it's breaking it down into small chunks, you know, just like I'll clean some plates here and there. And so if I do something even a little bit, if I, you know, strum my guitar, I can tick it off my list. It doesn't have to be some intense 1 hour session. And so that's working out really well for me. And I think that when this is all over, I'll be able to look back and realize that I was able to cultivate a set of really good habits during this time. And also, when I was down in the car park, I was reflecting upon some of the other positive aspects that I may be able to look back upon fondly from this time. Let's go over there and have a look at what I was saying. A thought came to me. Seneca says, there may be pleasure in the thought of even these events one day, quoting Virgil. Just now there was a really nice moment where I went to the security guard in my building. I asked him, can I skip in the car park? Because I'd been quite anxious about this, because I thought, you know, they might be worried that I might whip one of the cars. And he was like, go enjoy yourself, man. And I thought to myself, it's so amazing now, because I've got my new camera, as you can see, and I can set it up and record all my skipping and my progress for the Stoic weight loss journey. And I thought I was really happy with that. Something as little as having the space, having somewhere with space to skip now that the gyms are closed, filled me with so much joy. And it's made me appreciate the little thing. And I think if and when, and hopefully it's when, we do return to normal, I think one of the things that I'll take from this is appreciating what we have and having gratitude for the little things, those little bits of kindness, like from the security guard. Let's roll back to me talking in the room where I'm less sweaty and not lying on the floor of the car park. I'd like to say a massive thank you to the 2,000 followers as of this evening on Facebook. It means a lot to me to have your support. I will try to bring as much value as possible to you by providing ancient wisdom for modern times. This has been episode 7 of Weekly Wisdom. Please tune in next week for episode 8. There's also going to be a bunch of other content on the channel now that I've got my new camera, so do tune in. Please go and follow Stoic Health for home workouts coming from my good friend Joe Mabbott, who is a personal trainer and certified nutrition coach. So if you're interested in that, please go and have a look. It's very important that we're keeping healthy and happy during this time and moving our bodies. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.